I'd like to talk to you about the mediation process. You may have heard the word mediation tossed around, and let me just explain what mediation is to you. Mediation is when we have a neutral mediator who will try to work between the two sides to come up with a solution that you both can live with. Doesn't mean you're going to get everything you want. It's definitely a situation where there's compromise on both sides. Generally, you don't meet in the same room, so you don't have to worry about that. One set of lawyers and client will be in one side and the other in the other side. And at that point, generally, everybody should know how much money everybody has, what accounts there are, what the issues are. Sometimes lawyers insist on doing discovery, financial discovery first, and that's so they'll have the full financial picture. That can be especially frustrating if you know that everybody has the information and you think it's just a stonewalling tactic. It's really just a case of everybody wanting to know that they have the whole picture before you go into mediation, as frustrating as it might be. Mediation is not binding unless you agree. So it's not like arbitration. This is you have to agree to the mediation and to the terms. And nobody can make you agree to anything. So you're not going to go in and somebody's going to say this is how it's going to be. That's not the case. You have to agree to all the terms. So there's no risk that you're going to go be strong-armed into making a decision that you don't want to agree to. On the other hand, if you make a decision in the course of a mediation, you cannot then go and change your mind, especially, and I say you can, and then I say especially because there are some circumstances that would allow you to get out of the agreement, but they're very limited, and they have to do with you not having capacity or maybe finding new information or things of that nature. Once you've signed a mediated agreement, they can file a motion to have you bound by that mediated agreement. If the agreement's not clear, there might be a question, but even then, they can still attempt to bind you by that. So once you sign, that's your agreement. Some things that I think have been troublesome is when people have become very tired. If it's 8 hours or longer and you're ready to get out of there, don't start making agreements, but just because you're tired. I've seen that happen before, and then the people are sorry. If you need to break it up into two sessions of mediation, we can do that. I've done that before. If you don't feel like you're not in the right mind space to settle the case, then perhaps you don't need to schedule the mediation then, because it really is going to take your willingness to work on your terms and to accept that there's going to be compromise in order to get a case mediated. People ask me about the cost of the mediation. That's going to depend on the mediators. Each mediator has a different cost, and usually the costs are split, although that's something you can negotiate once you're in the mediation. You can say, if you'll pay for this, then we'll have an agreement. Mediation is a great way to get your case solved, but it does take some effort on your part and some willingness on your part.